In the village of Bonga, they say the river does not forget, that it watches, that it waits, and that when a man takes what does not belong to him, it collects. Taiwo Adeyemi married 3 sisters. The first in January, the second in April, the third in October. And on the night of the 3rd wedding, the night the drums were loudest and the celebration brightest, he walked out of the compound and was never seen again. Nobody was found. No footprints led away. No one in the village reported seeing him leave. 3 wives, 1 disappeared husband, and a silence so heavy it bent the trees. This is the story of what really happened. Taiwo arrived in Bonga on a Tuesday, which the elders would later say was the first sign. Strangers who arrive on Tuesdays carry unfinished business from elsewhere. The elders knew this, but they said nothing. He was tall, unusually handsome, and generous in that easy way that makes people trust a man before they know his name. He bought palm wine from men he had never met. He helped a woman carry firewood without being asked. Within 3 days, the village had decided they liked him. Within a week, they had decided they trusted him. He found the Olatunji compound on a Friday. He sat with the father, 2 cups of palm wine, 1 conversation. Taiwo, calm, warm, certain. I want to marry your daughter, Aina. I have seen her at the well and I know she is the one. Baba Olatunji, cautious, trying to sound firm. You do not know this family. You do not know this village. Why should I give my daughter to a man with no people? Taiwo, unhurried, almost amused. Because I will pay whatever you ask, and I will never give you a reason to regret it. Quiet, waited. The father said he would think about it. He thought about it for 1 day. Then he called Aina. Aina married Taiwo in January. The celebration lasted 2 days. The village came, the food was plenty, the drums did not stop. But on the wedding night, while Taiwo slept, Aina sat beside him in the darkness and did something she had never told anyone she knew how to do. She tied a thin red thread around his wrist, carefully, quietly, so he would not wake. She had learned this from her grandmother, an old practice, long forgotten by the younger women. A thread tied by a wife on the first night would bind her husband's truth to the marriage. Whatever he was hiding, the thread would pull it to the surface. When she was done, she looked at his face. He was still, peaceful, eyes closed. But at the corner of his lips, the faintest smile. He had felt it, and he had not removed it. Aina sat with that for a long time before she went to sleep. 6 months into the marriage, Taiwo returned to the Olatunji compound with another bag for the second daughter. The village erupted. Men gathered at the compound to argue. Women shook their heads. 2 elders went personally to speak to Taiwo. Bisi herself had been watching Taiwo for 6 months, stealing glances at family visits, laughing a little too quickly at his jokes. She told her father yes before he even asked her opinion. The second wedding happened in April. Smaller. It was small. Complicated. Bisi danced at her own wedding with her whole heart. Aina stood at the edge of the compound and watched.
And Kehinde, the youngest, sat apart from everyone, watching not Bisi, watching Taiwo. Then, October. Taiwo sat before the father again. The father looked older, tired. There was no surprise left in his face, only something that looked very much like shame. Kehinde, she is my last born. I know. The silence between them was long. Outside, a bird called once and stopped. What are you? Taiwo looked at the old man. His smile did not change. He did not answer the question. He slid forward, the 3rd bag. The 3rd wedding was the grandest of all. As if the father wanted to drown something out with noise and color. The whole village came, not in celebration, but because something in the air told them this was an event that would be remembered. Nobody knew exactly what happened at the river that night, but 3 people in the village reported the same thing. A sound, not quite music, not quite screaming, coming from the direction of the water. It lasted perhaps 30 seconds. Then, silence. Kehinde,
walked back to the compound alone, her wrapper slightly damp at the hem. She sat down. She ate her dinner. She went to sleep. At dawn, when Aina went to greet the household, she saw it immediately. The red thread, the one she had tied on Taiwo's wrist 9 months ago, was lying on the floor of the compound entrance. Dry, clean, as if carefully removed and left there as a message. She did not raise alarm. She put the thread in her pocket and went to start the morning fire. It was Bisi who discovered his absence. Bisi who ran through the compound calling his name. Bisi whose voice broke the village's sleep and brought everyone running. Bisi, desperate, breaking, raw. Where did he go? Someone must have seen him. Where is my husband? Taiwo!
The search lasted 3 days. They found nothing. No neighbors from nearby towns had seen him. The road out of Gombon showed no tracks. It was as if Taiwo Adeyemi had simply stepped out of the world entirely. Months later, the compound was quiet. The 3 sisters sat together, for the first time, alone. No visitors, no children nearby. Just the 3 of them, and a low fire between them. It was Bisi who finally spoke. Did you both know? From the beginning? Aina, after a long pause, direct, honest at last. I knew what he was. Not who, but what. On our wedding night, I tied the thread. It is an old practice. The thread does not lie. When I looked at him sleeping, the thread had turned cold, like river water. Not a man's warmth, something else. What do you mean? Something else? He was not from here, not from any village. Our grandmother knew his kind. Men who come from the water to take what the river is owed. Our father owed the river, a debt from long ago, before we were born. Taiwo came to collect. Collect what? He took nothing from us, Bisi asked. He took 3 years, one from each of us. 3 years of our youth, our time, our futures, given to the river through the marriage. That was the debt. That was the price, Kehinde replied. And at the river, on your wedding night, I gave him what was his, and I told him the debt was paid, that he was not to come back, Kehinde said. How did you know how to do that? Bisi. Grandmother told me, the night before my wedding. She said, when he comes to you at the river, do not be afraid. Just speak the words. Give what is owed, and come home. Did you love him? Any part of you? Bisi asked. None of them answered. Which was, perhaps, its own kind of answer. The village never fully understood what happened to Taiwo Adeyemi. Some said he was a fraudster who fled when he feared exposure. Some said a rival had him killed. Some said he simply left, the way irresponsible men do. Only a handful of old women who remembered the old ways suspected the truth, and they kept it between themselves, as such things are kept. The father lived to an old age, but he never seemed at peace. He stopped attending funerals. He stopped going to the river. In his final year, he was heard speaking in his sleep, apologizing to someone over and over, in a voice that did not sound like his own. The river, as it always does, had waited, had collected, had moved on. And the 3 sisters, who had each lost a year, had gained a lifetime of understanding. Never for his name again. Now, I want to hear from you. Was Taiwo evil? Or was he simply doing what the river sent him to do? Collecting a debt that was never his fault to carry? And Kehinde, the youngest sister, do you think she made the right choice at the river? Or should she have refused? Drop your answer in the comments, because I have read some things in comment sections that have changed my mind completely, and yours might do the same. If this story moved you, share it with one person tonight, because some stories deserve to be heard by more than one pair of ears. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one, which I promise you is more captivating.